happy to start the meeting for the meeting to start?
Yes, Chair, I've just clicked to start record now, so that should start popping up on everyone's screen.
Thank you. Right. Good afternoon and welcome to this meeting of the Education, Skills and Scrutiny Culture Scrutiny Committee on the 18th of March. Just to make you all aware, today's meeting will be recorded. Can I also welcome any members of the public and press? Have we any? Charlotte?
Chair, we did have a request, but I don't think that person is in attendance, but again, they might join in at any point.
Thank you. Can I kindly ask you to observe the meeting only and not speak or participate? So, I'm sure you'll remind them of that if they do join us, Charlotte.
Yeah.
Can I please remind you all to switch off your phones or switch them to silent for the duration of the meeting? In addition, can I refer to the protocol for remote meetings which have been previously circulated? Namely, your microphone should be switched to mute unless you're speaking. Should you wish to ask a question or make a comment, can you please indicate via the chat function or raising your electronic hand? Just to emphasise, I can't see everybody, so and nor can Democratic Services. So if you try and get in other ways, you may be missed. I will assume that you have read the paperwork before us today prior to the meeting. Please only use the chat function to indicate if you wish to speak as an alternative to the electronic hand or to raise any technical issues. When asking a question, it would be helpful if you could indicate the page number you're referring to. The first item on the agenda is to do the roll call. I'm Councillor Sonia Reynolds, which is obvious, and I'm in the chair. And I will now call on Charlotte, the Democratic Services Officer, to take the roll call. Over to you, Charlotte.
Thanks, Chair. I've marked you down as present. So if I move to Councillor Rydian Mason.
Yes, present, Charlotte.
Councillor Matthew Crowley.
Present, Charlotte.
Councillor Sian Harris.
Present.
Councillor Jane Jones.
Present, Charlotte.
Councillor Dennis Keogh.
Present, Charlotte.
Councillor Sandra Miller.
Present.
Councillor Marcia Spooner. Councillor Rebecca Phillips.
Present.
Councillor Mark Prothero.
Present, thanks, Charlotte.
Councillor Suzanne Renkes.
Present.
Councillor Anthony Richards.
Present.
Councillor Dave Whitelock.
Present, thank you, Charlotte.
Councillor Rob Wood.
Present.
Councillor Joe Hale.
Present, Charlotte.
Marie Caddick.
Present, Charlotte.
Udo de Benedictus. No. And I can see one of the co-opted is trying to enter now. Bear with me. There we are. Adam Amore. No. Linda Newman.
Present.
Thank you. I thought you just joined.
I had, yeah.
And then if I move on to cabinet members, so Councillor Alan Lockyer.
Present, Charlotte.
Councillor Peter Rees.
Present, Charlotte.
And then officers, Aled Evans.
Present, Emma.
Chris Millis.
Present. Thanks, Charlotte.
Had apologies from Andrew Thomas. Hayley Levy. Present. Paul Walker.
Present, Charlotte.
Liz Dennis.
Present. Did you hear me, Charlotte? Present, thank you.
Yes, thank you. Wayne John.
Present, Charlotte.
Thank you. Roger Bowen.
Present, Charlotte.
Burge.
Yes, I'm here, present.
Bryn Gilbert.
Present.
Paul Doyle.
Present, Charlotte.
Ellen Lewis.
Present.
And Tammy Davis. Tammy?
Present. Sorry, having some technical issues here. Thanks.
It's okay, no worries. I think that's everyone. Have I missed anyone at all? No. There we are, Chair. That's everyone then. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlotte. We've chosen to scrutinise items 8, 11, 15 and 16. Has anybody who wasn't at pre-briefing got any issues on any of the other items? Otherwise, we'll move ahead with those. Thank you.
I got my hand up, Chair. I don't know whether you can see it.
Thank you. Yes, Matt.
I thought I better mention in the as part of declarations of interest, my stepdaughter is named in a report in the cabinet section of this meeting. So I thought I'd just well do it right at the beginning, as she's going forward as a governor in a primary school in Port Talbot. So I thought I better just say that.
We're not scrutinising the removal and appointment and removal of local authority governors. Therefore, I was coming to declarations of interest, whether you could indicate on any interests on the items we have chosen to scrutinise. Otherwise, thank you, Councillor Crowley.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any declarations? I see none. Wayne John.
Oh yes, Chair. Just to declare, I'm a member of the reference group of the Welsh Public Library Standards.
Thank you. Right. If there are no other interests, we'll move on. Minutes of the 21st of January 2021 are here for approval. Councillor Hale.
Yes, sorry, Chair.
You wanted to?
Oh yes, just to say that my name wasn't on the roll call and I was present. Thank you.
Thank you. And Councillor Jones. Jane.
Yes, Chair. I've had a phone call from Charlotte since the last meeting saying everything's sorted, so I leave that there.
Thank you very much, Councillor Jones.
Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you, Chair.
In that case, can I have someone to move approval of the minutes, please?
I move, Chair.
Hang on. The director has a hand up.
Sorry, I was just saying that I was present in the meeting as well.
All right.
That's fine, Chair. I'll make sure to note that down.
With those amendments, can we approve the minutes?
Yes, Chair.
Will you move seconder, please?
I'll second them, Chair.
Thank you. In that case, we move on to the library service update, COVID-19 update. When John, are you handling this?
Yes, Chair, I'll take this part of the report if I may.
Thank you.
Basically, just to give members an update on the performance of the library service during COVID. Obviously, the service has adapted and continued to operate throughout. For background, members may be aware that our libraries closed on the 17th of March. There's an outline then of the recovery plan. And we performed a phased reopening of libraries, which remained open until the 21st of December. Just to give members a brief update, we're planning to reopen in line with Welsh Government guidance on Monday, the 29th of March. There's a brief there on online services and the basically what the staff delivered during COVID. There's a brief review on update on the library review and the service developments, and to give members an idea of the take-up of the service during the last few months. Happy to take any questions from members.
Any questions? Is that a legacy hand, Linda, or is it a new one?
Sorry, no, I thought I'd lowered it.
Thank you. Any questions from members on the report?
I haven't got any questions, Chair, but I'd just like to pass my thanks on to Wayne so we can pass them on to the library staff. I know Sterling worked in the close down. It's like, oh, I can't speak for any other library, but I've been Carmarthen, they've been fantastic. So if they just pass on our thanks from the committee, it'll be well appreciated.
Thank you, Councillor Mason. I'll do that.
That's a good thing to do. I'm aware in our community library that the support received and the assistance from the library service to keep click and collect and other things working and online services working, or have been excellent. So, okay, in that case,
thank you, Chair.
We move on. Councillor Matthew Crowley.
Just to reiterate what's been said, Chair, Wayne and his staff are doing a sterling job. I'm a frequent visitor to the libraries, both in my own constituency and at Port Talbot Central Library, and the staff couldn't be more helpful. They are a real asset to our communities, and Wayne, pass on my thanks to them as well. Thanks very much.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Crowley.
And then if we move on, then I think you've...
Councillor Peters has his hand up, Chair.
Sorry, you're not showing on my screen. Sorry, Peter. Would you like to, Cabinet Member?
Just to say, Chair, that members should have had a report from me about a fortnight ago when Wayne gave a full explanation of what happened in the library service. So they should have had that a fortnight ago.
Yeah.
It was fairly comprehensive, Cabinet Member, so, thank you for that. Can I ask people to take their hands down once they've spoken? They're taking a bit of time to come up, so if I miss them, Charlotte, can you?
Yes,
if they haven't first, thank you.
I'll keep an eye out as well. They're a bit slow on my end as well. I do apologise.
That's not your fault. If we move on into the report on the Cynnydd and Wellbeing Service, please, and that's going to be Hayley Lurvey.
Thank you, Chair. This is a report from...
Sorry, you're very quiet, Hayley.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties here. Is that a little better?
Thank you.
Thank you. This is a report for members. I've brought very recently an update on the inclusion service, and it's an opportunity to tell you a bit about the work specifically of the Wellbeing service now, and of Cynnydd, which is the grant-funded arm of the service. We've put a report together. Liz Dennis, who's the manager of the service, is here with me, and we're happy to take any questions on the report.
Thank you, Hayley. Can I ask if there are any questions? And hands aren't going down now for me, so I don't know if that's a new hand or an old one from Councillor Rees and Councillor Crowley.
No, I've lowered my hand, Chair.
It's actually gone, and both of them have gone now. That's great. Thank you. Any questions on this item?
I can't see any hands, Chair.
I think the system has been grinding a bit today. Can I just say an excellent report and some very interesting, well anonymised case studies on this. Gives us a really good view of the work that's been happening to try and support our young people as we move forward. So congratulations on that, Hayley and the rest of the service, and thank you.
Thank you, Chair.
Right, in that case, we move on to pre-decision scrutiny, and just a moment to give everybody a chance to move into the cabinet papers. And we are scrutinising items 8, 11 and then the private items at the end of the agenda. So if we move back then to Wayne, and we're looking at the public library standards and annual report. There is an addendum to this report that came through late, which is the impact assessment. That's on a separate tag on your ModGov. Thank you, Wayne.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, just to bring members' attention to the screening form, which basically means we don't have to do a full assessment. As members will be aware, this is the annual report that we submit to Welsh Government based on the performance of the library service up until March 2020, which was at the beginning of the impact of COVID. So there has been some impact on visits and book issues. Performance against the standards is fairly consistent. There are 12 core entitlements which the authority fully meet. There are 16 quality indicators, of which this year we're assessed against 9. Of the 9 quality indicators with targets, we fully meet 6, we partially meet 1, and we fail 2. The 2 that we fail tend to be resource-based. That is to say, we don't spend enough money on books, and our combined opening hours don't meet the minimum standard. I would draw members' attention to pages 91 to 97, which is the assessment letter we received back from Welsh Government, which basically scrutinises the report that we submitted. Performance against framework 6 of the standards has been fairly consistent, and I welcome questions and comments from members.
Thank you, Wayne. If I can ask if there are any questions before I indicate. So the only question, it appears, is mine. We have on page 46, you have under risk management impacts, the possible closure or transfer to the community of any further libraries is also likely to have adverse impacts. And, can I ask firstly, is there any likelihood of that being required? And secondly, as the Valleys community's impacts indicates there are no impact, and the smaller libraries are the ones more likely to be impacted by what's gone in the risk management. Can I ask for more information on, because there could well be Valleys community's impacts, so why that wasn't?
Yes, in all fairness, Chair, the report basically is a data report based on performance of the library service. There are no plans at present, following the library review, there are no plans at present to make any further cuts to branch libraries.
Thank you. There will be, as discussed with Democratic Services, a note going out asking people to be a bit more specific about Valleys impacts on reports for all documents. That's not just to you. That's it. It happens in a very large number of reports. Thank you. If we move on then to agenda item 11, and that's the Schools Forum revised constitution. That's being presented by John Burge. Have you anything you want to add, John?
Thank you, Chair. Nothing really. The report speaks for itself. As you mentioned at the beginning, hopefully members have had time to read it. It's being presented to Cabinet at the request of the Schools Forum members themselves. They came to me before the pandemic started to say that The Schools Forum has been in place for some 20 years now, and there was a little drift over time regarding its constitution and the terms of reference, and we just needed to have a refresh of it. We needed to go back to basics to see about putting it back into stead and back into line, because their membership was falling and we were having a little bit of difficulty in understanding ourselves about how we appoint, how we replace and how we replenish members. So that's where this has stemmed from. I think one of the last meetings I may have attended in person before the pandemic was to the Schools Forum last year, where they signed this draft off in readiness for me to now present it to Cabinet for final approval. And subject to that approval today, what I'll be doing next then is populating the table that is within the report, within the appendix, by going out to the various bodies and the various groups and asking for representations from those individuals. The key element, though, that maybe members should be aware of is that the ultimate decision maker of who sits on the panel is the Director of Education. But naturally, we will be taking those representations from the individuals and considering them for straight appointment. Happy to take any questions.
Thank you. Councillor Iridian Mizzen, Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, it was just only one little small thing, John, that's all. It says on page 140, it said, haven't you reviewed the regulations? Clarity provided the areas of concern. I just wondering what was the areas of concern in the original draft?
There was no concern in the original draft. The areas of concern are coming from the fact that it's 20 years on and there's been drift, Rizian. We've moved away really from what we should have been doing. And, you know, let me give you an example. As you will know, we have a replacement for Llan, we have a replacement for Nash every couple of years, you know, new chairs. And by default, it appears that the individual who takes up those roles have slipped into this particular committee. But actually, the terms of reference don't really allow for an automatic handing over to that position. And in some instances, individuals have stayed on where maybe they shouldn't have because they may have moved on. So there was slippage really in a system, in a process, not so much in a procedure. We've just used this opportunity to tighten up on a few things.
Oh, that's fine. Thank you, John.
Thank you. As there are no further questions, the recommendation is on page 141. Are we happy for this to go forward to Cabinet Board for decision?
Yes, Chair.
Thank you. Right. In that case, we are moving on to not doing additional learning needs. No, we're moving on to we're moving back to the Cabinet, to the scrutiny agenda. Yeah, thank you. Moving back to the scrutiny agenda to look at the forward work programme. It's attached for information, and it's been populated from the scrutiny forward work programme workshop. Do members have any comments to make? We have had an indication that it would be interesting to put forward an item on the to look at.
Do you want me to come in there, Chair?
Yes, please.
Yeah, what it was, guys, see Helen here now and Peter. We both in the school admissions forum earlier on in the week. And I just thought it'd be something to bring up. I know because Helen mentioned about the oversubscription, that she'd had to turn down 60 odd requests. Just something if you can look at, you know, how our schools are bearing up under the strain of people moving into the area, and I suppose the rise in childbirth that will be in 2 years' time, you know, with their nursery. How our schools are coped then, you know, for to cope with the numbers then, in effect.
64 pupils, Ridian.
Yeah, 64, yeah. I think mainly were when it Kevin Sison and by Baglan and Durvalen, was it?
There will be places in Kevin Sison.
Yes.
We had a brief discussion in pre-briefing about the COVID baby boom as well. So that's already showing up in childcare. So wondering what planning was moving forward, and we know that there are plans and that the authority plans well ahead, but it would be interesting to fit that into the forward work programme and ask officers how best it may be dealt with.
Yes, Chair, I suppose if you'd like, I can take that away and speak to officers outside of the meeting to see the best way forward with that request.
Yes, please, Charlotte.
Yeah, fine.
Okay. Urgent items, there are none. So therefore we move to go into private, and if you could check, please, as we do this, Charlotte, that public and press have left the meeting.
Yeah.
And we need to resolve to exclude the public for the following items pursuant to Regulation 4, 3 and 5 of Statutory Instrument 2001, number 2290, and the relevant exception paragraphs of Part 4 of Schedule 2 at 12A of the Local Government Act 1972. Can I please have a proposer and seconder to move into private?
I move, Chair. We're going to private.
I second, Chair.
Thank you. In that case, are we clear of any press or public?
Yes, Chair, there's no press and public, but I'm going to stop the recording now as well.